Hey y'all, welcome and/or welcome back to my channel. My name is Janae, if you didn't know, and today's video is another true crime episode. So if you ready, let's go. Alright y'all, so today's case is another Milwaukee case. I feel like a lot of the times Milwaukee, or even just small cities in general, they have so much crime and so many things happen in those places, but it's never broadcast on a bigger scale, so to speak. So I feel like it's almost my duty to bring forth to y'all cases that happen in small cities. And today's case is another unfortunate Milwaukee case, which I feel like just did not have to happen. I feel like the male ego needs to be checked, and it needs to be checked at the door. It just seems like people just can't take rejection for whatever reason, and that is a huge problem. People need therapy, people need like counseling, people just need to figure out how to deal with certain emotions, because stuff be going way too far. Stuff be happening that honestly would be preventable if you had your ego in check. Not you, I'm just saying, if people had the egos in check. Like a lot of the crimes that happen, it happened because egos are involved. But anyways, I'm gonna just go ahead and get right into it. So, little Miss Kierra Brown. Kierra Brown was born on September 14th, 1999 to parents Kenesha Brown and Martell Perry. Kierra was described as a fun-loving, bubbly, happy, just all-around great person, great child, like just sweet, loving. Everybody loved her. And I know that's kind of cliche to say when people pass away, but from everything that I gathered and everything that I read, like, people really enjoyed her. She was the oldest daughter, oldest granddaughter, oldest niece. Like she was just like, oh, y'all know that oldest child is always damn near the golden child. Like they the first grandchild, the one that gets spoiled, the one that just has everybody like just in essence, like she was everybody's first. It was just beautiful. She was just a beautiful soul inside and out. She just radiated beauty throughout, because y'all know you could be pretty on the outside, but if you're not pretty on the inside, like you're damn near ugly. So that was not the case with little Miss Kierra. She was beautiful inside and out. So fast forward, Kierra is 18 years old in high school. She attends Benson High School in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And not only at this point is she a senior in high school, she also has a job which she has had for about, I want to say, a year by now. And if anybody know, like, having a job and going to school is already a job, especially if you are a high achieving student. So having a job alongside of that, even if it's just a part-time job, it's not easy, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So she's balancing the two, work and school, and at some point along the line she ends up getting a boyfriend. I'm not really 100% sure when she gets a boyfriend, but she do get a boyfriend, and his name is Marvin Patterson. I don't know the dynamics of their relationship. It's really hard to find like the whole dynamic of their relationship. I went on a search, y'all, to find like the specifics, the dynamics, like how things went, and just like when they got together, when they broke up, and things like that. But it was really hard for me to find. So I don't know that information, but what I do know is that they were a couple at one point, and then they weren't a couple. And it's speculated. I haven't found any evidence of this. I don't know. They said that there are text messages out there somewhere, but I haven't been able to find them. That there was domestic violence involved. That he was abusive, whether that's emotionally or physically. And I'm not saying this is true per se. This is alleged because I wasn't able to find any proof of this, but people in her life have said that it was a domestic violence situation. So I'm just gonna go with that and say that their relationship was basically like toxic, okay? But Kierra, she didn't want it. She didn't want no parts. So they broke up, and Kierra was living her life. She was doing her school thing. She was doing her work thing. And at this point in the story, like I said, she's 18 years old. It is March of 2018, and she is just, like I said, living her life. She's no longer tied down. She's just living her life. She getting ready for prom. Y'all know Y'all know that around this time of the year, like between March and May, people's getting ready for prom. They getting ready for graduation in June, maybe even May sometimes. But like, this is the end of the year. It's her senior year. She's getting ready to just do all of the things that seniors do. Go on the senior trip if they do that, like senior skip day, prom, graduation, just all of the fun things that seniors do at the end of the year. Kierra is getting ready to do, but somehow he re-interjects something. I don't know the word that I'm trying to say, but he re-enters, I guess, her life. And this is actually the point in which the tragic events of this case take place. So on March 26th of 2018, Marvin calls Kierra and he tells her, look, hey, I'm outside. I just want to talk to you. Um, you think you can come outside right quick? And Kierra, being the kind-hearted person that she is, even though she's not in a relationship with Marvin, she kind of just like, all right, let me hear what he has to say. And she tells her mom, look, hey, I'm about to go outside with Marvin right fast and I'll be right back, not knowing that this decision would cost her her life. So she goes outside and she meets with Marvin, and according to him and Kierra are outside talking. And I think she sees a gun at some point, like she see a gun that he has possession of, and she grab it. And he's trying to like get the gun away from her, like, don't play with the gun. We don't play with guns, blah, 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 blah. And he grabbed the gun from her and it goes off. And he panics. So he drives to an alley on 99th and Carmen, and he kind of just abandons her, the car, and just flees and leaves her there. So the police receive phone calls stating that there's an abandoned car and that somebody looks like to be deceased inside. And if you ask me, that's kind of like, yeah, you panicked, but why didn't you call the police? Right? Like, if you panicked and you did this by accident, why didn't you call the police? That seems like the logical thing to do. Even if you panic, you could call the police, especially if this was an accident. So once the police arrive, they find her, they take her, they pronounce her dead, they identify her as Kierra Brown, and it's suspected that Marvin did this. However, it's not confirmed as of yet. Until the next day when Marvin actually turns himself in on the 27th of March 2018. He goes into the police station. He tells the story that I just told, where she grabbed the gun, he grabbed it, and it accidentally went off. However, he ends up changing his story. He says that him and Kierra were in the car and they were talking, and then he pulls out the gun. He's playing with it and he pointed it at her head at some point, and then the gun went off. I don't know who playing like that. Maybe he's akin to Black China at this point, but I don't know nobody who's playing with a gun pointed at somebody's head. So in my opinion, he damn near just lying, really. So after he turns himself in, he goes and he gets, he gets charged with first-degree reckless homicide. For about 3 months, he spent time in county jail until June 2018, where he was due to appear in court again. And of course, Kierra's family is attending all of his hearings and all of the, court dates as well. And this was supposed to be, I believe, the start of a trial, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I believe this was supposed to be the start of a trial in June of 2018. However, one of the main witnesses did not show up. So unfortunately, Marvin was able to be released on a signature bond, basically saying that you signed this and you say that you'll come back to court when you're supposed to come back to court, but you're going to be out free. Like, what? That puts the family not even in harm's way per se. It could potentially, but I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, the family of the victim is hurt most by this, especially in a small city where the odds of somebody who loves Kierra is more likely to see this person out somewhere than not. And that's exactly what happened. One of Kierra's friends or family members, I'm not 100% sure which one, saw Marvin out and about just willy-nilly in July of 2018, months after he killed Kierra. Anyways, continuing with the story, I'm getting so mad. Like, I get so mad. Like, during the course of researching this case, I was so pissed that on October 10th, 2019, just 10 days before his 21st birthday, Marvin Patterson was sentenced to, y'all, wait for it, woo, 10 years. And that's not even the worst part, is that it's only 10 years. The worst part is that it's a split sentence. And if y'all don't know what that means, let me explain. He was sentenced to the maximum. Like, 10 years is the maximum sentence for reckless homicide in the state of Wisconsin, meaning unintentional, basically. He was sentenced to a split sentence, which is 5 years in prison with time served, basically. So 4 years at this point, because he's been in prison for, he got credit for 434 days, basically, because 365 is a year, so a year and some. So now he'll only be spending 4 years in prison and an additional 5 years of extended supervision, basically on papers. Like, what? 10 years? First of all, 10 years for murder? And I guess it's because they cannot prove intention. But we all know. I mean, I guess we don't know, but we all know that it's intentional. He could not deal with the fact that Kierra was moving on with her life. He could not deal with rejection. He couldn't deal with the fact that Kierra was moving past his ass. Like, that is the part of this case that pissed me off the most, is that he only got sentenced to 10 years. And technically, only 4 of those years will be spent in prison, because he gets time served for the time that he was in county jail. I'm pissed. I'm upset. I'm hurt by this. So I can only imagine the hurt, the pain, the just disgust in the justice system that her family has. Like, I just don't understand it. Like, that is just mind-blowing to me. And I understand that the justice system has to work in a certain way, being as how they cannot prove intention. But at the end of the day, y'all are only going based off of the words of the person who committed the crime. Of course, they're not going to say they did this on purpose, because then they will be sentenced to probably life in prison. What's even more frustrating than the actual sentence, y'all, is that earlier this month, not even earlier this month, what is it? On May 23rd, 2022, this dick bitch had the nerve to petition his sentence. He petitioned for a sentence adjustment on May 23rd of 2022. So he's trying to petition his sentence. He don't want to be in prison. But why wouldn't you be in prison? You only in prison for 5 years. Just chuck that shit up, Charlie. But it's already been 3 years. So you might as well just chuck it up and serve the rest of the last 2. Matter of fact, not even 2. It's about to be less than a year that you have to serve, because you got credit for time served. So you're really not even about to be in prison for another year. Like, bro, at this point, don't even try nothing else. But yeah, y'all, that's pretty much all I have for this video. It's a really, really sad one. The family also did a thing where they would say purple hearts for Kierra. So I just want to, if y'all made it this far into the video, I just want y'all to drop a purple heart in my comments so that we can all support and just remember Kierra in this moment. Thank you so very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I have a playlist here, and you can subscribe over here. And I will see you all in the next one.